Scientists at a guideline lab in the Joint State are with a cut-edge shape of X-ray to scanning within an Egyptian mumia how has never been deployed with its earthwork a age back. The is the at first period how such a top-rate synchrophasotron X-ray will include been utilized on a mumia, in the aim of making an very comprehensive, three-dimensional analyze of the flesh and any some objects lie under the underwear fittings. The is as well an extraordinary mumia, since not just has the flesh been canned, but so too has a picture of the kid's person. The mumia, of a gallery on the college campus of Northwest College in Chicago, is believed to include the flesh of a 5-year-old lady, who dead on 1,900 year back. Not just was her flesh mummified, her picture was colored and located on top of the cloths wrapped up tight about her. He's one of just on 100 such a picture mummies named to already exist untouched, in the Egyptian trial of mummification creature followed by the ancient Roman styling of depicting the corpse. The art provides an extraordinarily sexual picture of how the lady one day looked, and the scanner draft is hard to show lot more than on her lifetime and die, out of harassing any of the layers of fabric about her flesh. Professor Walton says the inquiry so far suggests how she had been comparatively wholesome and how she didn't include any rough strength injury. How could explanation her die? He says how the largest potential reason of die was a illness such as ague or rubeola. The mumia had been dug in 1911 by the British archaeologist, Sir William Flinders Petrie, in Hawara in Egypt, and was driven the next year to a school in Chicago. With later, the mumia has been put on screen and emerging in exhibition, but has been leftward untouched, in comparison with lot how were cut outdoor. But the year, for the at first period, researchers include started looking within. In the year, the mumia was undertaken of its present household, the Garrett Evangelical Doctrinal Divinity School, on the Northwest College campus, and driven to a clinic in Chicago for a prior CT scanning. Later recent 1 week, the mumia was driven to the Argonne Domestic Lab, a top study center managed by the College of Chicago for the U.S. Division of Power. The mumia became the at first to be discussed with synchrophasotron X-rays. The trial sends tight purlin of intensive lighting to map any structures under the shallow care. Researchers wish to inspect the ivory fabric and gearing. The inquiry is at an previous phase, but where are as well questions on which seems to be an subject within the cranium, supposedly following the marrow was remote as portion of the mummification. Professor Walton says it seems to be unified tar of the embalmment trial that has populated in the behind of the cranium. The researchers are hoping how the will speak them thing on the positioning of the flesh and the trial of mummification. Where are as well signs of several type of cable about the chief and feet. But Professor Walton suggests these might be contemporary pins, quite rather than old artifacts, maybe plugged following or for the earthwork in 1911. We are yet hard to know his accurate goal in keeping along the wrappings, he says. The synchrophasotron X-rays will enable researchers to see at the interior design pattern of whatever within the mumia in a lot more than comprehensive way rather than some forms of scanner, says Professor Walton. The U.S. Division of Power says the ultra-bright, top-energy X-ray purlin, manufactured at its lab, can inspect structures and material at a nano-standard wherever scope is measurable in billionths of a meter. Same item how is of concern to me largest individually is the ivory how is this, told Professor Stuart Stockpile of the Feinberg High School of Medical at Northwest College. The is the mumia of a 5-year-old kid. We're concerned of a care prospect in the quality assurance of the ivory. Has the ivory modified in period? We can begin to construct up a database of how old ivory compares to contemporary ivory, told Professor Stockpile. He is hoping to discover lot more than rather than of a usual CT scanning. We wish to aware which material are this and the will speak us thing on the processes utilized to get ready the mumia, and real how had been made after to stabilize the mumia. They as well wish to aware more than on the youthful kid under all of these historic layers. Taco Terpstra, aide prof of story at Northwest, says on part of family at how period did not dwell to his 10th date of birth. Professor Walton says how the lady's picture in a comparatively abundant funeral suggests how she must include had an elitist statute during the countryside. He is supervision and trade show at the Unit Museum at the college show these life mumia portraits. He's named, Color the Eyes Milder, Mumia Portraits of Ancient Roman Egypt, in the name undertaken of an manual spelled in Hellenic on the behind of one of these pictures. How said the painter to color the eyes milder? Now the youthful, ceremonial person, looking behind of an old civilization, is creature studied by the largest ultramodern technique.